Technically, a couple of drama in this video belong in 2024. However, the fallout are still radiating toxic till this day. So, Happy New Year, motherfucker. Everything happened for a reason. From winning 3v1 to a snake in the grass. It all makes the toxic gacha community even richer than before. Today, we will see what drama happened in the span of a year. My name is Regret Pardon, and this is Gacha Drama Recap. Number 1. Shane vs Pocky. Shane and Pocky talking about comparison situation. However, the conversation going back and forth because after Shane gave an explanation, Pocky never tried to slow down and understand anything. After that, they're talking about Hoyo and the 1001 convoluted dialogue in this story, and how a skip button will help the game. However, the same thing happened. And finally, Tecton coming and ending the 2-hour and 24-minute debate.
The reality is both of you guys are doing an excellent job of representing both games. I just want to go ahead and tell you here live that I think you're both doing a great job. And I think, my chat, my community on Twitter was getting kind of worried about you guys. So I wanted to step in and just let you guys know that I care about you all both very much. And I think you should be able to enjoy whichever game you want. However, I would say I think you would be horrifically mistaken to. Have you guys talked about the addendum? There are very clearly different developer teams operating on Honkai Star Rail, Amazon Zero, and Genshin Impact. Have you all talked about that?
No, yeah, but there are many different teams.
Yeah, I think we would all agree that Genshin Impact's developer team is the worst developer team of the four.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And what I don't get is why in the fuck they have not fixed that over the course of 4 years. There's been a popular Twitter thread that popped off with over 5 million views and 46,000 likes from today about how Genshin Impact doesn't feel the same due to the cohesion of the addition of Natlin. And I think it really is a shame. But I think Honkai Star Rail, Amazon Zero, and Wuthering Waves are getting consistently better every single update.
I'm a little bit mixed on that because the thing is when it comes to
Really,
when it comes to all those different dev teams, right? The thing is when I see like those parallels, especially in the story, especially in like the pacing of the story, the whole thing with Paniconi and then the disaster that was 2.6, right? That to me is almost like Genshin Impact imprinting itself, right? Or parts of the Genshin Impact dev team imprinting themselves on the design of Honkai Star Rail. And to me, it's almost like not like a dangerous circumstance, potentially it is dangerous, right? But it is something new that they introduced in 2.0, and it's something that they've carried forward, right? All the way until the end of the 2.0 version. And so as we get into like the whole what made Genshin Impact bad, what made Genshin Impact unpalatable, right? I'm seeing a lot of the same signs of that sort of progress, of all of those kind of like shitty things in Paniconi. In the future of Honkai Star Rail, who knows what Amphorius is going to be like, right? Is it going to be a like 7-hour story quest each patch instead? That's the whole thing, right? It's something that has been introduced in 2.0, and it's only gotten worse as the version has gone on.
Okay, so first of all, holy shit. St. Jonas, you just gave me passion to revitalize the Gacha cast and do a whole episode about this, because I just realized you are absolutely fucking correct. Yeah, no, I just forgot, because Mr. Pokey was talking about this earlier too. I think he made an HP inflation video. I can definitely understand, and Pokey, I'd love to know your perspective. I would definitely be concerned with the current story direction and the HP inflation direction that Honkai Star Rail has. I don't think the game is going to be bad by any means, but I would say, would you think that it is at least cause for concern what's happening with even more dialogue bloat like 2.6 and HP inflation for the MOC, or are you not worried about that?
I think for 2.7 is great. I just finished 2.7 story. I think it was very well paced, especially compared to 2.6. The HP inflation, frankly speaking, there is, but because the memory of chaos buff is so strong, you think you can still clear quite consistently because I think like 500k per debuff. So you probably can't zero cycle anymore or like as easily, but I think that you should be good as long as you follow the quote unquote, optimal team content and stuff, yeah.
Okay, I didn't get a group together to talk about this. Are you guys free tomorrow to do a podcast?
What time's tomorrow?
I should be, yeah.
Okay, tomorrow. Okay, dude, I'm actually so excited. I'm going to talk to more commentators. Yeah, we need to part two this. We need to part two this 100%. If you guys keep talking, I appreciate the fuck out of both of y'all. I love both your communities. I'm going to get back to gym. Good talk. Let's do Gacha tomorrow.
All right, sounds good, Tech.
Peace, guys.
Number 2. Jinxi is same as Changli.
Jinxi and fucking Changli kind of play the same fucking way.
Shane receiving intel that someone auditing his channel. Not only that, the person also speak out of his knowledge fear. However, it's all been settled down because Fob acknowledging his mistake the way Pocky never do.
Once again, I am glad that we were able to resolve this like, mature adults. This is what I mean, guys. It's like people aren't that bad, okay? People aren't that crazy. We just need to give people time and space to explain themselves, right? And, provide additional context, right? Provide the explanation. And it's really easy to move on from stuff like this. And my viewpoint is that in the nowadays, like, people's unwillingness to hear somebody out, the second they hear something bad about them, or the second that it's implied that they're doing something bad, is genuinely the most toxic thing in the space. It is genuinely the most toxic thing in the space. Because most people, they're not here just to be like dicks or be assholes or just like fuck around or like fuck with people, right? They're just all, doing things that they're interested in, talking about things that they're interested in, and like, having all these different motives heading into the conversation. So let's just give people more space to explain, give people more space to provide reasons, and it is so easy to avoid drama like this in the future, guys. It is really easy to avoid drama like this. Just hear people out. Don't draw huge conclusions from just like one clip or just like one interaction, right? Because if that was all we did, we could have just been in here being like, complete assholes to Fob. And in a sense, right, if we didn't give him the chance to explain himself or we didn't hear him out, in a sense, we would be justified, right, by like how stuff goes on in the common day, in the common space. But like, we don't have to do that. Why make all these enemies and create all this drama, right? I'll have a little bit of fun, right? I said I was going to farm him a little bit, but there's really no need for me to go any further than that. And there's no reason for most of us to do any of that either in our day-to-day. Like, the climate nowadays is just so focused on, like, farming clout, getting some dubs, dogpiling and stuff like that, just for some fun, right? Just to, like, get, farm more engagement, that sort of thing. But, like, you guys can farm engagement, but then still resolve things at the end of the day. And I think this was a perfect example of this, right? I think Fob and I are cool right now. Or I hope we're cool right now.
Number 3. The Gacha Case. Gacha Case episode 18, marking the first Saintondas addition to the Gacha Case. In this Gacha Case, Saint get attacked by Fitmaster, Mr. Singapore, and Mr. 7 out of 10. Saint get attacked because 3 of them say PGR have best endgame, even though they never played that unpopular game. They say that the universal buff of middle tower in the old version of the OA worse than PGR, even though in PGR you need to build massive amount of rooster, but nobody plays it, so nobody fucking know.
Yeah, Genshin broke the normie barrier.
Exactly. It broke the normie barrier, and that means, right, that there is such a large subset of the population where Genshin and then the Hoyoverse games that followed, right, are kind of like the only experience that they've had in Gacha, right? They were introduced in 2020. It's not like they're going to go back and be like, oh, I like Genshin so much, I'm going to go and start playing games that were released before it, right? Because everything was lower quality, right? Everything had like lower scope. Nothing really had like that same level of like fulfillment as Genshin at the time. And so that's why I really don't reference games that are like not really in the same genre or the same field or like released beforehand when I'm doing like those comparisons. Yeah, because there is a sizable part of the population that has only played Genshin. They started Gacha in Genshin, and then they're only like kind of been with like
Wait, but
Hoyoverse.
here's the issue with that, right? Because you love Kuro games, right? And you think they're doing great things. And you say the implementation of tower is like one of the best in Gacha. But like literally in their previous game, PGR, it has better implementation of endgame.
And Wuthering Waves is 6 months old and PGR is like 5.
No, but like this is exactly that's not an excuse. It's the same criticism we gave to Genshin when it came out. Why did they go backwards from Honkai Impact's endgame to whatever the fuck Abyss was, right?
Wait,
so,
really quick. Well, I just want to say you can't use that as a criticism. Otherwise, you could say like, well, it's not fair if you make a, like that would work for every product of all time. Is like that nothing could be better because it hasn't had as much time to be out. Like things have to be good the moment they come out. It can't just be like, oh, it's not as good and you have to wait a year for it to get good. That just doesn't really make any sense. Like when the new iPhone comes out, I expect it to be better than the old one. It can't just be shitty and then they're going to add features over time. It just has to be better. So like, there's no excuse.
It is better.
To not just have more. You think its endgame is better than PGR's, which is better.
I
Not
think
PGRs. I think it's better than the first iterations of endgames that we've seen in other Gacha games.
Better than first iterations, but that doesn't mean anything because it doesn't matter how good Wuthering Waves is compared to Genshin 1.0. It matters how good it is to Genshin right now, this second. Nobody cares
It is
about
better than
what
Genshin's right now.
Here, Santos,
Oh, it probably is.
let
It
me
is.
I got a gang for you real quick. So the thing is that Wuthering Waves is a more complete game than PGR is right now, as well as Genshin Impact is also a more complete game than Honkai Impact. Now there might be some nooks and crannies in there that need improving upon, absolutely, right? But as a overall experience, Wuthering Waves far supersedes the success of PGR, the grand scale of PGR, the virality of PGR, as well as the things that you can do in the game. I would agree that PGR definitely does have better endgame. Because I'll be real, when the game has that fucking little, they can really zone in on it. It's pretty much all they fucking have. I think Wuthering Waves will expand upon it in the future. But I also 100% agree with you. If the blueprint's already there, just fucking follow it and do what you've seen makes a success. This game doesn't need to be out for a fucking year to make the improvements. I think they can improve a lot faster than they are. Go ahead, Santos.
My counterpoint is accessibility and getting introduced to a wider audience and player base. Because one thing that I think we've seen evident across, pretty much, every CC that's played Wuthering Waves and has, kind of progressed to the end game is that this game is kind of fucking hard, right? Especially when you're somebody that isn't used to like dodging, isn't used to like maybe, doing things like backflipping, stuff like that. It can be difficult to grasp the mechanics and actually execute on things like, your echo swap cancels, all that stuff, quick swap, all of those things. And if we're introducing like a shit ton of endgame modes that have like all of these tiered or like restricted rewards for you completing them, and then people are still like trying to like learn the game and play it, it's probably more likely that there are a lot of players that just can't clear the tower because it's literally like a skill issue.
Can I adjust your take?
There's so many things wrong with that.
So let me adjust Santos. I think he's on the right track. I think he might have misspoke. I think what he meant to say was it's hard in comparison to the other Gacha games that are on the market. I don't think it's hard as a game, but in comparison to Genshin and in comparison to Honkai Star Rail.
That's a great clarification, Tech.
After that, we get the Hoyo no skip button and the HP inflation excuse from Mr. Pocky.
The fact of the matter when it comes to a skip button is that it puts responsibility on the developers when you have a skip button in your game to make your story engaging and worth watching. Because if it's not, if you fuck around, if you have dialogue bloat, if you waste people's time, they will just skip it, right? And if you make a story that's instead engaging, that gives people reasons to listen, that has dynamic camera angles, that has good facial expressions, you guys might know the game I'm talking about, right? You will have a story that you won't want to skip. You'll want to click through and actually read all the dialogue, see all the characters move, see that cute little animation of Shorekeeper drinking some tea, and you'll stay along for the entire tale, right? ZZZ actually does the same thing. They have shorter dialogues, a lot more concise. They give you the fucking skip button, but nobody really uses it because the storytelling experience doesn't feel like you're basically paying or you're getting screwed over in the process. And
let's focus on how can you defend that Honkai Star Rail does need a skip button. It really does.
We have quit Wuthering Waves. What? Would you have quit Wuthering Waves if those games were Wuthering Waves?
if I had to like spend like 7 hours in the like 7 hours
whatever you
to, like,
mentioned
complete a
for
main event,
Stario. Yep.
I
Like
think
something
that
similar.
it would definitely be like it would definitely be something I'd be like bitching about like every patch. Like I'd probably make like a video about it every patch. But the core gameplay loop to me is entertaining and engaging enough.
Exactly. I think that's my person, and which is my point against Ryuku, because his point was Honkai Star is the worst game based on story alone, and I felt that there was more than just story itself because of the core gameplay. Exactly what you said. So I feel like this argument that Honkai Star is such a horrible game because it has a yet fast for just a story, but you just disregard every other thing. Like it has 3 different endgame modes, it has all the events. I think it's just a little bit disingenuous. But
Loki, do you have any videos complaining about the story pacing? Like targeted videos about it, like this shit is taking too long, they're yapping too much, like a critique on like the storytelling in HSR?
I think I critique it when I'm actually playing on stream because I don't really make dedicated.
But you
story
don't have like a
content for HSR.
dedicated video for it.
For story, yes. But if it's the other
Okay.
issues with Honkai Star, I definitely like. For example, I made like 3
So
different.
so
videos
you
for
don't
the
talk
HP
about
version.
issues either.
Number 4. The first misstep and the tale of 100 fake guide maker. First made a stingy video criticizing Wuba without reading character kits and making things like Chongli and Jinzi are same.
What I'm mostly concerned about regarding the current state of Wuthering Waves is that even though there's a lot of experiential distinction between characters, there's not enough practical distinction between characters.
I need to take a break.
That's make Sane doing guide audit to make sure that guide maker have good proof that they know what they are doing.
We're teaching people how to play the game? We taught people how to play Shorekeeper? Maybe this is why people can't fucking clear the TOA. We're teaching people how to play Shorekeeper when this is the gameplay that's in the fucking video. I don't think, Vars, I don't think you can be a judge on Shorekeeper's strength. I don't think you can be a judge on Shorekeeper's strength if you're fucking swapping off of her before she has a full concerto. Guys, I'm gonna have to start a new series. I'm doing guide audits. I am guide auditing every fucking Wuwa CC. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna guide audit. That's gonna be the content for the next month. I am guide auditing every fucking Wuwa CC. I'm gonna fucking do it. This is the most disgusting shit I've ever fucking seen. I'm gonna audit every fucking creator making Wuwa content.
It's all good though. Vars doing good today and Sane talked with Brax and Takedown. Number 5. Gacha Smack and quantity over quality takes. Gacha Smack called out Hoyo and Wuwa because they pumping up cheap and short cutscene on their story. But Wuwa have AAA quality cutscene.
Oh, another really good section? You guys wanna know? Oh, not cinematic. Are you guys ready? You guys ready for no cinematics? Oh, hey guys. Hey, get ready for no cinematics. Hey, oh, whoa. Is this cinematic? Cinematic or no?
You're here.
But it's the dialogue.
Find each other here.
Not enough?
This is the deepest part of the Tepis system. Our shore. Just
Oh,
us.
I guess it's not.
I like this starry sky. So
Oh,
much.
yeah, this is shit. Because there's dialogue and I have to click, it's shit.
You like
Yep.
how Solaris has collected data to stars.
Oh,
The stars
guys, it's not a cutscene, so it's shit. It's technically not a cutscene, so it's shit.
It's all settled with Sane and Smack talking with Tecton as the moderator. Number 6. Frozen Rain, the beginning. Jenna have something to say about Sane.
I heard something along the lines of Genocide stream today. Saint is not 1v9 anyone. People just don't want to talk to him.
After that, they talked and something happened that's gonna be alignment for future Sane.
Also, some.
Oh,
also,
sorry,
okay,
continue.
wait, really quick. Wait. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but really quick, bro, your chat is so aggressive, it's insane, dude. Like people were like, oh, he's a snow. Like, just let him talk, bro. I just want to have a civil discussion. I'm not like trying to have like this fat argument, you dumb fuck, you stupid morons in chat. Like, oh, you baby, bro, because I'm trying to talk to another human, you dumb fucking idiot. Okay, you stupid morons in chat that are faceless. You can't even speak, okay? You don't have a voice, so shut the fuck up, dumbass.
After this call, Sane think they were good. Not in Jenna's mind though, because Jenna always attacks Sane afterwards in every single opportunity. Number 7. Grinshuku Sensei Konnichiwa. Ryuko trying to critique Wuba. However, most of his complaints are very subjective and majority of Wuwa player wait, what word that mean tidak setuju? Disagree. Sane reacting that video. And after that they have a little civil discussion.
What players wanted the most? I think like that's
What
not
the
really
fuck?
like.
No, dude. No, that literally is. That fucking is. No, you are actually pissing me off right now. No, what people were looking for is what they looked at most, and you can see what they were looking at most on the fucking timeline. That's what they were looking for. It's literally there. You are completely wrong on this. Jesus Christ. Do not do that again. Okay?
Are you good?
No, are you fucking like retarded right now? What people are looking for is what they were looking at. And what they were looking at, you can see the peaks and valleys on that trailer. And what they were looking at is this dark, desolate vibe. So when you're saying, no, we can't tell, no, it's literally there. That's what they were looking at because that's what they want.
I'm quite literally saying that we don't actually know what they are looking
Yes, we do.
for.
It's in the fucking timeline, dude.
Number 8. The Chronicle of Io, the Riddler, the Gluer, and the Him. There is someone that almost every day communicating in riddles. He is him, the Gluer himself, Io.
Wuthering Waves community, the Neo Genshin community, does not have a me.
Have you heard Sendedi ASMR?
Well, maybe if I talk like Vars, then you're gonna like me a lot more. So, how about I just talk like this for the rest of the stream, and maybe you'll find more satisfaction from what I'm doing. Do you like this now, Vars viewer? Are you happy that I'm talking like this now? Is this something that is satisfying you? Are you enjoying this? Jinxie and Chang Li are the same character. Hypercarry teams and Quickswap play exactly the same. I'm going to use a blue Stellar Realm in my B-roll, even though that proves that whoever's playing in that B-roll has no idea how to play the fucking game. But I'm going to do that anyways. I'm going to Zhang Liao Liberation with a blue clear Stellar Realm, while talking about the problems with team building. That is a perfectly acceptable thing to do for a Kuro-sponsored creator. I'm going to do that. And it's going to be good. I'm going to call sub-DPS characters backup dancers, terminology from Honkai Star Rail. Surely people are going to like that. I'm going to use lingering tunes on Zhang Liao, and then ask why characters are so non-versatile and not usable in other teams, despite the fact that I'm using a Sonata set that quite literally restricts the number of teams that the character can be used on. And I'm going to call everything in the game a combat engine, even though I never actually describe what the fuck that means.
You can go all day.
You can go, yeah, of course you can go all day. You're unemployed. You have nothing else to do with your life. You're sitting here in a Twitch chat. You've sent about 20 messages. Your first one was a complete lie that got disproven. And now you're just typing random shit because you quite literally have nothing better to do. That is unemployed behavior. You are floundering. You are floundering. Unfortunately, you are floundering. It must hurt hearing a message like this delivered to you in this voice. It has to hurt. You idolize this man, and now you're hearing him shit on your entire existence. You're now failing to spell basic words properly. You're this flustered. Idolize is spelled with a Z, and you is spelled with a Y. Take a moment to compose yourself before any further messages. Otherwise, people might think you're getting emotional damage. You're not the one that can do this all day. I can do this all day. I know it's hard to type with tears streaming down your face and blurring your vision. You are broken. You are shattered. You're telling the streamer to get the fuck out of here. That doesn't actually make sense. That's quite literally your job as a viewer. Then it is your responsibility as a viewer to leave the stream. Just leave my stream. If you hate watching me so much, why are you still watching my stream? You're quite literally in my house. Are you getting enjoyment out of this conversation? Why are you here for so long? You're quite literally getting flamed with every other sentence, but you're still staying here, listening to me. I think you like this. I think you're a bit of a freak. You must like this, don't you? Am I giving you sexual gratification? Do you want to get yelled at by Vars? Are you gooning right now? Because if you are, that's a little weird.
All right, I guess we got a hate Gooner, ladies and gentlemen. I guess we got a hate Gooner. Maybe I don't use that voice again, or I'm gonna attract some more freaks. What a weirdo.
Number 9. Almost Shinya situation. Shinya made a post about Wuwa toxic positivity after TGA. However, he missed this shot because we kinda don't fucking care about it after we get total triple of 10. And we also don't care because CCC doesn't win. After that, Shinya make a video about Rexcellent Chuni posting the atu of PGR. This have better perception. However, large audience that doesn't know the real Rexcellent kinda hate it. Personally, I don't care about Chuni posting because in CA, Chuni just mean cute and funny. However, I care more about the section number 11. Number 10. Hoyo's Golden Handcuff. Nerumero, a Genshin Japanese content creator, get removed from Hoyo contract and Genshin server because of playing Wuwa. Also, Wallenstein get out of Hoyo contract because he thinks that the contract too restrictive for his expanding channel. Number 11. The racist, the Gateo, and the Rexcellent. Gateo is a questionable pedoman and a certified racist top player. Rexcellent, however, are the crown king of toxic PGR player. This time they are rising on the Western Gacha player. Number 12. Natlan and the hypocrisy of Genshin CC Mafuika pullers. The 4 horsemen of Genshin CC. Brand Online, Doro44, Zayox, and Zajev. Critiquing Mafuika slightly double banner and the free rewards locked when banner ends. However, they still pull some even C6 her. Number 13. Mr. Hypocrite. HSR have power creep issue if you are greedy or stupid. Yeah, I'm a greedy and stupid motherfucker who pulled A3 Jingliu instead of waiting years for Finon and Castores. Number 14. Arknight Enfield and the toxic positivity. Pulling banner and lost 50-50. You got that character on next PD, except if you play this archaic fucking gacha model game. Number 15. The Jejev and back to Genshin. So, Zajev wants you to coming back to Genshin. Why? It's the because you can do what you did in Wuwa, but shittier. If you think this sentence or script are shitty, wait for his explanation.
Right? But there's not really much, or the power creep is like really slow, which means that they're games that lend themselves very well to relatively casual gameplay. And that's like probably the biggest advantage for the games, is like, if you're someone who likes playing games for the story, if you're someone who likes playing games for exploration, both Genshin and Wuwa are going to scratch that itch.
Yeah, but the problem is, the big thing that he's forgetting is he's bringing up exploration. The thing with Genshin Impact is, if you want the prime quality of life exploration, you have to shill up to $300 a character. Wuthering Waves, every single character gets the exact same amount of exploration as every other character. And it is leagues beyond anything that you can do in Genshin Impact. This is not my opinion. This is not me being biased. This is the genuine truth. And it really bothers me how people don't mention that. I mean, I feel like everybody knows, guys, what would you prefer, an Xbox at full price or an Xbox for free? I think we'd all understand which one we choose. Obviously, we pick the free option. And saying, well, this game has the same thing as Wuthering Waves, you just have to pay $300 to get it. It's just very disingenuous.
You'll be able to log into them a few times a patch, do the story you like, and then log out and not feel like you're completely getting left behind.
The other thing that's really bad about that $300 is the fact that they released that character that enhanced all quality of life with another character, new unit on the exact same patch that were perfect synergy for each other. It was very, very, very predatory. And I feel like we're going to talk about that because it's very scummy how a lot of Genshin CCs are letting the company get away with that.
The next time you log back in. But even if you're not able to clear this one, you'll probably be able to clear the next one.
That's fair.
And if you're not able to clear this one, it's just because none of what you have works against it.
I would say that's very true for Wuwa. You can use the characters from the beginning of the game to clear the current content, absolutely. However, I think Zajev is very severely overlooking the fact that Dendro really increased the power creep of the game. And I feel like with the bullet sponge bosses, you do. Now, obviously, Zhang Lang, Fischl, Xingqiu, Bennett, all still really good, but the implementation of Dendro really increased how much damage you need to do. So I don't think a 1.0 player could come back only using 1.0 units and clear all current content. I think they would have to blend in Dendro. I really do. Or at least stronger units. I don't think a 1.0 team can clear the current content. I could be wrong. Now, guys, all this makes sense. Guys, have we noticed how none of this shit makes sense?
To review video for WoW, that there's no reason why you shouldn't be allowed to have multiple characters in co-op. And like, I remember that.
Number 16. Gacha CC and the loss of 1,000 Eco XP.
We don't have enough HP to...
Says every person who always plus 25 instead of plus 5. Did you know that every breakpoint of 5 level, your next breakpoint multiplier increase exponentially? Yeah, more tubes are helping. However, what happens if you don't make the XP economy balance and instead inflating it and fuck it, want to add more chaos, add substat, reroller, and bam, you got HSR and future ZZZ who's need perfect roll to clear and new character that dealt 900 times damage early character E6. Did you know that most of the people watching this video close this video after the first intermezzo? I don't know why his info is so powerful. Anyway, back to the video. Number 17. Cantarella swimming situation. When you have wing, why you need swimming? Number 18. Suck after exposed. Hey, we work for you, but not gonna work until you sign this waiver that make you can't cast another studio, but we will call it for AI protection. The fuck bitch. Number 19. Is Castoris an instrument of doom? So, this happened after Mr. Pocky culmination of drama bait or mental retardation, center text and part weighing with tecton. All of this combination got its climax when Pocky going to pull Castoris after saying it's bad for the game and get called hypocrite. In a way, Castoris are the catalyst that speed up the downfall of Mr. Pocky. So yeah, Patrick, Castoris is an instrument of doom. Number 20. Sayaki, the lore mogul, arbiter of story, skip master of Wuwa. Sayaki, with quick summary in his sleeve, trying to tear Wuwa's story down to the ground. It failed miserably. He ended up making contradicting statement in 2 of his video. Let's roll the clip.
The issue is, I don't know what the Black Shore is.
You do.
I don't know who Shorekeeper is.
We do.
So instead of experiencing a heartwarming reunion, I feel like a third wheel watching from afar.
I feel like the only way you could have that opinion is if you skip the quest. Maybe he means he personally, as a player, he doesn't feel the connection. Yeah, and I'm saying he probably doesn't feel the connection because he skipped the quest.
Like, I can tell you're very close to one another, but where am I in all this?
Well, you'd find out if you played the quest.
I'll now re-explain what I understand of the facts on the backstory of the Black Shores and Rover's origin. This ties to my personal gripe with them as a protagonist. The Black Shores is a research facility focused on eradicating the Lament. The Tethys system is an advanced supercomputer able to predict the movements of said Laments. Long ago, the Rover was the one that established the Black Shores, with Shorekeeper helping manage the place. The duo has experienced the Lament destroy civilization and pledged to protect it at all costs. They eventually left for other important tasks, and the Tethys system became the governing body. The Rover, having returned, now recognizing the role as the astral modulator, speaks to the Black Shores people as its leader, reiterating the purpose for this place's existence is to safeguard the people on this planet. Because, and I quote, people are the heart of civilization. Broken systems can be fixed, but without people, civilization has no soul. From this, we can tell that the Rover has a strong desire to combat the Lament and stop it from laying waste to this world.
The issue is, I don't know what the Black Shore is. I don't know who Shorekeeper is. So instead of experiencing a heartwarming reunion, I feel like a third wheel watching from afar.
Did he present the same summary in the last video? No. In the last video, like I said before, he said, we have no idea what the Rover's purpose is or what the Black Shore's purpose is.
I don't know what the Black Shore is.
Number 21. Seka Pocky versus Sane. Why did I write Seka Poko as Seka Pocky? Here's the clip.
character, or really the element or the type of character being shielded, versus not having the on-banner character. You get a huge, okay, sure, you get a huge absurd difficulty spike.
What's the difference?
From not having the shield
I don't
character.
understand what you're trying to.
Once you get the shield character, there's no shield character in WoWa. I guess that's the thing. There's no shield character or shield mechanic in WoWa. There's no character that you pull in WoWa, and the second you pull them, it's like the difficulty of the boss just falls off a cliff. Remember Pillarman, the Pillar Mech? You pull Jalonin, 0 effort. You clear in your fucking sleep. You don't have Jalonin, it becomes an absolute.
You want me to tell you
nightmare.
the list of characters that have mechanics that can climb the pillar?
Okay. You don't have those characters, it becomes a nightmare. That's the difference.
That argument is bullshit, by the way. Okay, literally every single player in Genshin owns Kachina, who is a free character that we have all received.
Yeah, I don't want to use a midget.
That character is free.
I don't want to use her.
Every single player that did the event in Genshin owns Odoron. He's free this patch.
Yeah, I don't want to use
the
him.
most owned character in Genshin Impact is named Kazuha. He jumps.
I don't want to use him. He's on the
If
other
you
side.
don't want to use him, it will be harder, but you can climb it.
Yeah, and I'm saying that being forced into using characters that I don't want to use is not fun.
You're not forced into using them. You can use what you want if you want to do it. It is just harder.
Yeah,
What's the problem?
and the thing is, that's what we're arguing. The fact that Genshin Impact shills certain types of characters, and you basically essentially, if you don't use them, you have a dog shit time.
Okay.
And these are elements that
What's the
these are
problem?
like
I
outside
don't understand
elements.
specifically what the problem is. If there's a way to do what you need to do with every character in the game, what is the problem?
You want to know what WoW does? There are certain bosses that are really fucking annoying unless you parry them multiple times.
No, I'm aware. Yeah, Thunder Mantis is an asshole, man.
Yeah,
if you parry him at the right times, he's easy as fuck.
Absolutely, right? And so you simply just take your team that you like using. You don't feel like you're forced into using characters, and you just simply parry with
You know
that
what
team.
Wuthering Waves does, though? It's a cool phase using characters called monkeys. And we some bosses using hacks. So one of the characters in
Don't worry, the consequence bite him in the ass. Number 22, the Pink Goblin of Gacha Gaming.
Hey guys, did you know that when you can do pixel frame perfect dodge cancel while negative edging and juggling 7 basketball, yours any deal 7000% more damage than previous DPS lineup?
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Drama with Haruno Sakura started after first WoWa contest video where Sen got first place and she got second place. After that day, Maggie always have fun to pick with Sen. The first major issue of her behavior are when she shitting impossible rotation on Jenny that make her look like power gripping unit. The second and more devastating issue are when she releasing confidential beta data from WoWa like kids and motion value. Even cringy Sensei torture.
Pretty good.
The third are shit talking Sane in Discord server. Finally, after talking with Sane, Mikey got silenced and excommunicated from WoWa community.
You might as well talk about why those messages where you specifically said you didn't point any fingers towards anybody, right? But then Saint showed those DM or those like server messages. Would you admit that was insinuating Saint?
Shut up, Bob just changed teams.
Bro, I wasn't on any teams. I was motherfucker.
Bro, the team that Fob needs to go on is barber. We gotta get you a new haircut, brother.
Let Maggie speak. Let Maggie speak. Yo, Maggie, you good?
Yeah.
Okay,
Good. Okay, so I mean, the way you want to interpret how that is always up to you. I can't, whatever I say about like my intentions behind what I said there, no, there's no way to prove if it's one way or another. But I will say that I don't think it was fair to put out an insinuation there when there are people that are out there who can be thought to be the target of said insinuation.
So I guess my response to that is, isn't it pretty fair for a lot of people, especially a lot of your longtime community members, viewers, etc., the Discords you frequent, when you're actively on the record talking shit about me, right? Specifically, even on, I think it was April 15th, is when you were still harping on and complaining about getting second place in the creator contest. Yeah, April 15th of this year, which is like, I think like a couple of days before you announced your departure from the program, right? There's literal DMs, not even DMs, public Discord messages of you complaining about losing to me in the contest and then talking about like how like shitty WoW content is. I think it's pretty fair that when you have like a literal public track record of, yeah, shit talking me at so many different points, and those are only the most recent ones, right? And so if you're still fucking salty about this shit 6 months after the contest, imagine how salty you were the day of, and the months following after the day of. I mean, I think it's pretty fair that people are going to easily draw insinuations considering all the shit that you've been saying. So I really think this whole like absolving yourself of like responsibility and then leaving it up to interpretation of whoever's seeing it when you're actively going ahead and then saying all this shit, I think that's a pretty, I think that's a bit of a rat move. I'm gonna be honest. I think you're going ahead and you're really giving yourself a lot of benefit of the doubt here when you're literally on the record. I can show the screenshots too. It'll take me a minute to find them, but I've got the screenshots of you talking shit as recently as April 15th.
Go.
Can I go find them?
I think this case is pretty much over and shot. I think we're all done here, boys. What do y'all think?
I feel like there's really not much more to talk about this. We've already gone through all of this.
Sure. Well. I think we can all say, after that call, silence can sometimes speak louder than words.
Number 23, the god of unemployment. So, you are deep down couple $1,000 in rent, but still spending on gacha games? Try asking Tecton. Maybe he will beat the sense out of you if you have any left inside of your hollow capsid. Number 24, Kuro got greedy. Get brigaded and sabotaged Kuro bots. From this point, the reputation of Bua subreddit are unsalvageable because of the brigaders. Bring your snack, refill your water, and come back to this video. Number 25, the band, the Pocky, and the Frozen Rain. So, Sen got banned on Twitch because of Frozen Rain and posting his banned account in Twitter without the reason. Pocky responding, but Sen never said anything about the CC, just the community, because the thing that got him banned again was Frozen Rain. Number 26, Return of the Glue Master. Io trying to lecturing Saint as if he better than Saint. And naturally, Saint clapped back.
So after backseating that hard, even making an entire video on how to play this team, he fucked it up. Is that what you're telling me? After backseating that hard, making an entire 22-minute video, hyper-analyzing footage from a first-time player and an experienced player, he still can't do it. This is like being fucking LeBron James, and you're getting tips from like a fucking high schooler. Fucking so cringe, bro.
Is it that amount of crit, bro? Oh, way it's that amount of crit. Who's got the set? Lycan has...
Didn't you hit like 3 mil? Yeah, my Hugo does like 1 million more damage than his does. His did like 2.2, mine did like 3.2. Also, I literally built the character in 1 day and it's better than his. Oh, but I thought everyone had that though. Alright, hey, why don't we pull an EO, boys? Hey, he's playing Shiyu defense. Let's do this. Let's fucking do this. Damn, suboptimal play. Look at this dude starting his clear on Lycon. So that when he switches into Hugo, Hormone Punk's 4-piece is going to activate and be on cooldown for when it's needed on the boss. Fucking trash. Look at this.
What up, Shuri?
He already knows. Look at that. -1. Alright, let's see it. Let's see it. Hey. Oh, you're gonna switch into Hugo, little bro?
1, 2, 3.
What is this motherfucker doing?
Hugo, maybe? I don't really need to do that, though. Yeah, I fucked that up. Okay. Don't...
It's like the requirement was to jump 2 feet into the air. And Io did like a backwards somersault and landed on his face. What the fuck?
I do want to use EX with Lighter. Because he's going to build the meter back up. But maybe I do it in reverse?
You didn't even hit that fucking enemy, bro. What are you doing? What credentials does this guy have to give any fucking advice about this game? He sucks balls. This is like his fucking 100th time playing this team, and he can't even group them properly. What the fuck even is this?
Because if I were to do EX skill with Hugo here, into that, Totalize is still going to come out.
He just ungrouped the enemies. He just pressed a bunch of fucking buttons and ungrouped the enemies. Like, Hugo's skill groups the enemies. And then he just went on to Lighter and just fucking uppercutted for fun and then scattered all of them.
Number 27, the final saga of Mr. Pocky. Pocky is back. Not for long though, because...
Hey, kanina this fucking uncle want to talk about Singapore. I got fucking problem with my accent of my country. Limpe happily mind my own fucking business. This one will be a condescending towards my entire country. My friend Pokey called him a dog, right? I will show him a lot of fucking face already. No fucker hell. Tagton also called him a dog, right? Right, Tagton also say he's a fucking dog, right? How? Why so pressed? PMS, ah? He called you a good boy, ah? Want me to feed you trees or not? Kanina, your fucking ass also jealous of the amount of shit coming out from your mouth every other day. There's nothing fucking right in your left brain, nothing fucking left in your right brain, and you still want to pretend you got a brain. You fucking want to go after my country, insinuate other people is like what, call them pedophiles, and then you cry that you got marriage reporter. Kanina, who's fucking fault? Your parents never teach you manners, huh? Absolutely embarrassing. You know what? You want to fucking post the fucking podcast, right? Absolutely. You know what's embarrassing, huh? Your performance in the hologram tournament cheating. 30-minute head start practicing and you still fucking lost. Don't fucking talk about my country, no Kanina kunde.
After that, Tecton ended Pocky career. Now Pocky on limbo. Not dead, but have small chance to be as big as he was. Number 28, Sayeki 2.0. Who have bad writing? What stuff did you smoke?
To start off, Wuva, Wuthering Waves, commits a sin that surprisingly a lot of gacha games also commit, not making use of its cast. What do I mean by that?
Okay, that's
well,
not
if you read the story
that's a
and
fair
pay
point.
attention, it's hard to count the times when more than 2 characters are interacting outside of expositions. Basically, most character interactions in the game are only between a rover, the MC, and another side character. You rarely see genuine party dynamics, and interactions are almost exclusively one-on-one, likely by design. Let's take the 1.1 story, which was all about Jue and Mount Firmament. It starts off with Chongli, and the whole point of the first half is about catching up with Jinshi. Chongli helps you get into Mount Firmament, takes you to Hongjin, which is the main settlement on Mount Firmament. The two of you track Jinshi's steps, she goes over a lot of exposition, until finally, in a cave, you catch up to Jinshi to help her with Huanglang's Jue problem. The three of you group up, spend like 10 minutes together until Chongli leaves, and you do the rest of the story with just Jinshi, because Chongli has to deal with some pitiful fraxiness. Sure, there is an explanation on why she has to leave, but that's because the writers want to separate the group, not...
Well, I mean, the focus of this is Jinshi going through her second awakening to be able to, harness the power of Jue, and I guess the alternative that he's potentially suggesting, not saying that he's doing this, but, I mean, if Changli's just there, isn't she just a gigantic third wheel, just like watching it all happen? So she's just like sitting there like, you can do it. You got this, Jancy. I believe in you.
Out of necessity for the storytelling, instead of having Jinshi and Chongli, which are close to each other, interact on screen, we only interact with them separately. It would be fine if this was the only time that this happened. Let's go to 2.2, which was the Imperator storyline, which is the Sentinel of Renacida, same as how Jue was the Sentinel of Huanglong. This story is pretty much the exact same as 1.1. You have to find Carthea, sweet Sentinel's resonator just like Jinshi, and to do that, you have to do so with the help of Cantarella, Lillian Dow, the mommy lady that acts as a guide, same as Chongli.
Yep.
While the three of you do interact here more than in 1.1, Cantarella also barely stays on screen after you meet up with Carthea, and the rest of the 2.2 questline turns into a glorified date with just Carthea.
So, I guess the complaint is that they did end up talking to each other, but then there's another complaint because they have individual dialogues afterwards to have one-on-one conversations after they all just talk to each other. Couldn't you just make a similar complaint that I wasn't able to talk to any of the characters one-on-one and every conversation was a group conversation if the alternative occurred? Because the complaint over here is that you individually talk to the characters to get their thoughts after you just spent a bunch of cutscenes all talking to each other. But yeah, you could make the equal complaint on the other end that no conversation was one-on-one. We didn't get any individual thoughts of any unit.
Number 29, Mousse on soda. So, mousse on caffeine, making a biased take, and then have a little spot with Sen. After this, Mousse made a new video that better. Number 30, get flipped, you moron. So, you made one flipping hour video of flipping retardation. Roll the clip.
People, and without the way, let's begin. So to give some brief background, I'm mostly going to be highlighting the discourse around the mainstream gacha games, the Genshin Impact, of course, Stario, Wuthering Waves, and ZZZ. Because if you spend any time interacting with these communities, either in YouTube or the hellhole that is Twitter, I wouldn't be surprised if you see the constant arguments and toxicity that plagues the space. Genshin has been around for the longest, and which has had its fair share of extremely toxic discourse over its years, but ever since the release of Wuthering Waves, as well as Malin, I feel like it's been taken to a whole other level.
Oh, sorry. Let's do a bit of a recap on what the Genshin Impact community has done prior to the release of Wuthering Waves. They killed a cat because it looked like Scaramouche. They doxed VAs because they didn't like the strength of a character. Yeah, they doxed the Kokomi VA because they thought she was too weak. What else? Surely there's more stuff. Those are just the two main things that I can think about right off the top. Oh, yeah, accused multiple people of sexual assault for no reason, just because they didn't like them. They also had the whole situation, I guess, Honkai Impact 3rd, where they tried to kill Dewey because he made bunny suits for the units, and people said that he was, he was like prostituting the characters to America. Yeah, there's a lot of evidence, there's a lot of instances of this community being one of the most diseased things that the entire space has ever seen. But we're just going to straight up say,
actually, it was toxic, but it wasn't that bad until Wuthering Waves came in.
Shut up.
Number 31, Nicholas Light versus Hoyo Shields. Nicholas Light, anime YouTuber with mainstream view, tried to dip in gacha landscape. He started with Wuwa, then ZZZ, Genshin, and Starrail. Maybe starting with Wuwa was a mistake. Right, Mr. Zongshina?
I just don't.
I don't. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, okay? Okay, dude, I don't care if this gets me shit. I'm used to it. I'm used to it, guys. I am so fucking used to it. This game, after playing Wuthering Waves, I feel like right now I'm playing... What can I compare this to? You know what it feels like? It feels like... Let's see if I see it somewhere in chat. I'm not into it. I am not fucking into it, man. I really am not.
I think a big thing that probably contributed to this is the fact that he played probably, I think, over 20 hours of Wuthering Waves, and that was his first experience like playing this whole sort of like gacha open world RPG genre, and then he played Genshin Impact afterwards. And I'm going to be honest, guys, that's a little bit rough. That's probably one of the worst ways you could set yourself up for success in Genshin Impact, because I think that the nostalgia factor and the fact that they played Genshin Impact first is one of the only ways that people that play both Genshin Impact and Wuthering Waves are actually able to do that. Because if you start on Wuwa, then go to Genshin, you're taking such a massive step down in your overall experience of gameplay in terms of like pace, satisfaction, combos, like movesets, animations, all of that to a degree that is like, it just feels like a complete fucking downgrade. And like, why would you do that? It's like seeing an HD remaster of a film and then proceeding to just watch the shitty low quality one, doing it voluntarily. You probably are just not going to do that.
Number 32, Nikokado Zodan, Two Step Ahead. This started because Ricardo Zodan made a video that in surface looked like shitting on Saint that attract Saint hater who only comes for the title alone. However, in the way to please them, he go to wrong way and make an amend.
And naturally, right? When you've been under attack by Genshin Impact, by Honkai Star Rail, by the outward Hoyo community as a whole, with illegitimate critiques, when you view the ZZZ one as illegitimate as well, and you find out your 2.4 patch is comparable, if not better than 2.0 of ZZZ, of course you're going to talk some shit back. So, this is an address, this is a disclaimer of it right off the bat.
With that being said, though, I believe a fight fire with fire approach was not the solution the Wuthering Waves community should have taken in response to this matter.
That's what they're used to. It's the default response. Yeah, it's the default response when you've gotten a bunch of bullshit critiques over the lifetime of the game from Genshin Impact fans, HSR fans that don't make any sense, and they're just saying shit to serve the pot. It's the default response.
This will only further escalate tensions between the communities, as all anyone ever wants to do is point fingers and say they started it.
I mean, they did, so yeah. When my game, the one that I'm playing the most, has been shit-talked the entire time, and now it's just straight up better in so many ways. I mean, what else are you gonna do, bro? At the end of the day, it's all gacha games. That's one thing we have to keep in mind. It's just games. I don't think there's necessarily an issue with somebody saying that their game is better than another game, because at the end of the day, it's just a fucking game. So there's not a lot of reasons to be upset or angered by it on either side, because it's a game.
It's clear that drama content is doing me no good, so it's about time I make some changes if I want my channel to not repeat a cycle of stagnation and bleeding audience members over and over. If you're still here after everything I'm about to list off, then that's great, and I hope to see you in future videos. First off, I will be cutting off all communication from any of the content creators listed on screen right now. The only exceptions I'm making is to Ethan and Foxsoul on the condition that we keep anything related to Saint Tontos drama and Wuthering Waves out of our private conversations. I at least owe you two that much, given how much you've done for me. I'm including Captain Cabinets as well on the off chance that we do ever talk privately, because she's at least trying her very best to not stir up shit in the gacha space. Secondly, while I'm no longer creating future drama content, I will not be removing any previous drama videos that are still up. This includes my video of forgiving several controversial CCs, primarily because EO himself wanted me to make an addressment in the first place, and he's kept out of drama content for a while now, and I prefer not to muddy the waters with him by taking the video down. Also, just because I'm cutting communications from the aforementioned creators doesn't mean I take back my apologies to them. Lastly, I will not be making any Wuthering Waves content going forward. I'm sure many of you didn't care anyway, and after the endgame video would probably just prefer I don't talk about anything Wuba at all. That is all I've got to talk about for changes to the channel. I'm looking forward to a drama-free environment, and we'll see you in the next upload.
We will see what surprise we got in the future. So, I am a drawer. Should I make a video animation about it? Comment down below. Number 33, Miasma and the downfall of Miyabi. After power creeping and dominating the ZZ space, finally, Miyabi got power creep and nerfed by MiHoYo because they can sell new character without making character their player pool obsolete first. Sain criticized this and the miasma, but get piled till now. Who would have doubt? Number 34. The fate of the Fate collab looked less faithful. Archer Lightcon spending event, exposition, mute collab.
The endgame content is quite stale. There's a lack of events. I mean, there are events, but there's not as many of them as there used to be. And of course, there's the power creep problem. Like, there's a lot of issues with Honkai Star Rail. I think it's still quite an enjoyable game for like a couple hundred hours, though. And that's why I've been covering it, because I really genuinely enjoyed the game. I just got tired of making guide videos. There was never really a monetary incentive from the company for me to play Honkai Star Rail. I get paid.
Okay, Brax, we gotta be honest here. You're not enjoying it as much, right? What made you enjoy the guide videos in the first place? Probably like all the great strategy, right? Probably all the great strategy you would have from pulling new units, where, you know, you could talk about the different teams that are available. You could talk about all the unique ways that you could approach the content. Nowadays, I guarantee that HSR guides are just like, all right, how can we make this broken character look even more broken? Oh boy, look, they're steamrolling every single endgame mode. Let me just swap out this other character and then see how they're steamrolling it even more. Or if I swap them out for this other one instead, they're steamrolling it slightly less. And at that point, right, it's almost like it's got to get old at some point, just going in and then just obliterating all the content in the game and then not having almost any challenge at all because you're just demonstrating footage of every character with their light cone. And they're so hilariously broken and they're so hilariously unbalanced that it almost feels like you're on autopilot. And there's no more like actual critical thinking to get the guide working anymore. That's what I imagine Honkai Star Rail guides have become.
Number 35. Double Run and the toxic nature of Arknight's community. Toburo, one of the CC2 classic Arknights, just like Rexland to PGR but without the connection to the devs, exposing the toxic view of their elitist community. If I have suffered, everybody must suffer too. Number 36. Gayuku returned. So, Ryuku got something to say.
I think like that's
What
not
the
really
fuck?
like...
No, dude! No, that literally is. That fucking is. No, you are actually pissing me off right now. No, what people were looking for is what they looked at most, and you can see what they were looking at most on the fucking timeline. That's what they were looking for. It's literally there. You are completely wrong on this. Jesus Christ. Do not do that again. Okay?
Are you good?
No, are you fucking like retarded right now? What people are looking for is what they were looking at. And what they were looking at, you can see the peaks and valleys on that trailer. And what they were looking at is this dark, desolate vibe. So when you're saying, no, we can't tell, no, it's literally there. That's what they were looking at because that's what they want.
I'm quite literally saying that we don't actually know what they are looking for.
Yes, we do. It's in the fucking timeline, dude.
No, not that.
You are a leech. You are a parasite. You are a fucking cancer. And you need to be removed.
Simmer down, Gramps.
So the guy that theory crafts relationships between other CCs openly hates on them on his discords, makes jokes that aren't really jokes, but then claims they're jokes when he gets caught. This is the guy calling people a cancer that needs to be removed. Parasite and leech. I don't know, doesn't this seem a little bit hypocritical?
Number 30 plus 7 out of 10. Haha, nice. This drama comes after Jenna or Frozen Rain playing Frolova story quest. Despite doesn't give a fuck to the story, he rated it 7 out of 10 and then got called out by his own community.
My entire time, the last bit during the back and forth was me saying, okay, no, this is literally the top upvoted comment, and there's nothing toxic, negative, nothing like that at all in here. I don't see it. This is just commentary on the story. I'm going to preface this prior to my statement, as I don't want to be labeled as toxic. Jenna, I feel like you barely watched the story for this one to have a take of it confused me. This just sounds like a fair critique from a long-time viewer. I don't think you were yapping as the other comments might echo, but you were definitely not focused. I genuinely hope I'm not coming off as rude. All is good. This sounds like a long-time viewer with a legitimate point of feedback, knowing that they have watched your prior streams and your prior content before. I don't necessarily consider this like an overwhelmingly toxic community response. This sounds like somebody that watched the entire stream and overall had a point of critique to say, because like they thought that the stream could have been better if you had done different things, like paying more attention. Yeah, I don't see any toxicity in here. I don't see the whole like maybe there's worse stuff. Let's see. No amount of good storytelling can save a clapped CC that has the attention span of a walnut. Okay, that one's mean. I'll give it to him there. It's funny, but it's also mean. You could call that toxic. Hey, if this is the comment that made him crash out, sure. Right. I think that this is just something you'll get but it does have a lot of upvotes, so sure. Let's read some of the replies. Yeah, okay. This one's a little mean for sure. Watching this made me consider to not ever watch you again when it comes to story reviews. Everything was literally fed to you, and you got confused with the story. LOL, Jenna. This might be somebody that's cosplaying a longtime viewer, but this also does sound like somebody that has been a previous regular viewer of his content and did not like the interpretation or their experience watching him play through this. I'm gonna be real here. I'm perfectly of the boat that there are some people that might just be faking being a viewer, that are just like faking being a part of his community, and they could be doing that. But the fact that I've already seen this many upvoted comments saying the same sort of vein, I don't necessarily know. Now we got this one over here. Confusing for me. Quoting Genocide. Yeah, just for you because you don't give a shit about the story. You were just yapping random shits when something happened in the story or when emotional dialogue was playing. Let's not comment about the story when you don't even try to enjoy it. This also sounds like another person that was just there watching the entire thing. And this is the situation, right? Is that Jenna doesn't actually upload his VODs on YouTube. And so the only way to have had that knowledge is to literally watch his stream on Twitch and like watch his VODs and do that. So once again, could be somebody cosplaying, but this entire comment section to me, it sounds like his own viewers. And they all have the same, they all sound like his own viewers, and they all have the same critique. And I think this is maybe why that idea of never reading a single comment and then making a general blanket statement about what's being said, even when you're not reading it, is kind of like inherently a bit harmful, right? I'm reading all of these comments and they don't even sound like I couldn't even attribute them to Kuro bots. It just sounds like his own viewers that are a little bit frustrated with how he went through the story. And what you'll notice in here, right? Nobody's talking about his score. Nobody is talking about the fact that he gave the patch for the game a 7. Nobody is saying that there was anything wrong with his rating. They're all saying that there was something wrong with the amount of attention that he was paying to the story quest. We got some additional comments from this chain down here, and I think this is the one that kind of brings home this theory a lot more, that the negative response that's being had over here is from his own community. It's just he never locks into the Wuwa story for some reason, like he does with Limbus. It's double standards, and this one is getting a massive amount of upvotes on his own channel. So this is somebody that is watching his Limbus streams and watching his Wuwas. Brother, at this point, it's your own viewers.
That's why he got called Mr. 7 out of 10 and Clap Walnut. Anyway, he tried to take cover behind Tecton that at that time doesn't know what happened.
Because you don't understand every single minute point of the entire story. You don't understand anything about it. You got the same thing.
Yeah, I literally said I couldn't pay attention to certain parts, and that I was doing a sponsor and I was short for time, and I did apologize for not giving it my full attention.
And then Saint explaining the drama to Tecton.
I understand that you and Genazad are having your beef, and I'm not going to interfere in that at all. If you can just give me like a TLDR, if possible. What did Jenna do that was bad?
Starting from the top down, right? The biggest meme out of the entire situation, the 7 out of 10.
Yeah,
I think there's been a lot of discussion going back and forth, right? About the whole, like, the 7 out of 10 was the reason why this entire, cascade started. It's like, it's the first domino that fell. And I can agree with that perspective, right? The 7 out of 10 score, I think, is what caught a lot of people's attention. And then once that attention is caught, right, that leads people into, like, looking into, all right, why was the rating like this? There are a lot of CCs that gave like a 7 out of 10 score. By a lot, I mean not actually that many.
I gave a 7 and then I rewatched it and I think I gave it like an 8.5 or 9.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I think most people are judging it on like the kind of like gacha scale. And I know that one thing that Jenna did was actually clarify that he was judging it on like an entire game scale. I actually saw that, right? The news kind of came out in like spurts, right? First, it was like Genazad gave out the 7 out of 10 score. Somebody made like that meme. I actually reacted to that one, and I was like, I think his score is like pretty reasonable, right? He even said before he's like deflating it a little bit in this in terms of gacha by comparing it to like regular games like Expedition 33 and stuff. All I said in regards to that initially was he probably should have just said like 7 out of 10 on the normal game scale, and then gave like an adjusted gacha game rating, where it's like you do the -2 for Mr. Pokey or the -5 for Mr. Pokey. You do like the plus whatever, right, for a gacha game or for like a generating, right? And then that would like
kind of... Jennifer and I haven't really talked about this at all. But the one time we did, I was just like, bro, just compare it to just like gacha games and then just get on with it. But he was like, no, I'm good. I kind of like this. And I say, okay, do whatever you want then. Yeah, there's this idea of Genazad where people are saying that it was like a mask-off moment where he had a giant ego, but I'm confused. I thought it was very obvious that he's always had a giant ego.
I guess the thing is that I think that whole like mask-off ego explosion thing, it happened after the reaction. I would say when it was just all around the 7 out of 10, people are like listening to the reasoning, blah, blah, blah. I don't feel like there was any drama at all. I guess it's where the ego is directed. I'll like actually compare it to you. They like your brand of ego, where you'll take your ego, you'll go in and you'll use it to like embellish situations, not and like direct it towards like the content only. I think the issue with Genazad in this situation is that he took his ego and then he directed it towards, like, obviously we heard the explanation, right? Not necessarily directed toward his community, but the way that he worded it and the things that he was saying made it seem like it was like going like inward and then like kind of like into his like own consumer base, right? I guess the way that I would word it is like you taking your ego and then while you're reacting to like an Asmongold video, like using that ego to like insult Asmon viewers for like something. That's kind of like how I would like compare the situations between the two. And that's why this whole situation kind of like exploded. It was after Genazad's, clip where he went ahead and he was, saying the whole, I'm going to Kurofest, all of that. That's when I think the situation blew up. I think that prior to that, and then prior to him sort of like crashing out on stream, there was like nothing. I don't think that there was like really that much of an issue at all. There were a couple of YouTube comments and then like one Twitter thread of somebody making fun of the 7 out of 10 score. But then afterwards, right, after people saw the React, they saw the Kuro Fest and stuff like that, that's where I think stuff started getting crazy. And I think that's where the whole discussion about the 7 out of 10 versus it mattering and it not mattering has kind of like went forward from there. Because I think the 7 out of 10 started the discussion, but there wasn't actually a real meaningful drama until people like poked into the reasoning and then got that kind of like ego-fueled reaction. Because
I just think people are just really bored.
when we think about the 7 out of 10s, you gave one. You addressed it. You said I got sort of like fucked over by the sponsor. I was like distracted with all this other stuff going on.
Tectone's protecting his snow roommate.
The aftermath are ugly as flip. Even CN community doesn't like him.
But the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe that they might have taken it a bit too far. So let's just go ahead and frame the scenario. This video is titled, and believe me when I say this, my video title covering the situation is not nearly as aggressive as what you're seeing over here. Genocide, congratulations, you once again humiliated North America in the field of gacha games. My title just was, he pissed CN off. Now we're getting into some people posting some IRL pictures from Kurofest. And so this one over here isn't anything too crazy, right? It's just a, it's just a little blocky fleur-de-lis hopping around and stuff. QQ Dan Dan came to watch. How do I feel like he will watch the comments on this video again? Well, what do you think was going to happen? And this is where it starts getting a little bit weird. And this is where I'm going to have to kind of like, as somebody, right, who's been involved in this drama, who's kind of been on the front lines of all of it, as the person that's made all of these videos, and let's just be honest here, has the most history with Genazad himself. Guys, it's getting a little bit out of hand. Because I think what has happened is that Genazad has managed to turn into a mini celebrity in CN, and now has people following him around like paparazzi. And I'm gonna be real, guys. It's not that deep. I guess if they're just taking the photo for fun, it is what it is. But you can imagine, with the kind of like past history and the stuff that goes on traditionally in CN, let's just be honest here, guys. CN, you guys are a little bit more toxic than we are. And my hope over here is that this video gets translated as well, so we can have a little bit of like cross-regional communication. This might be a little bit much to just be like posting right in like public comment sections on videos. And this comment over here by Eerie Peanut Oil is what kind of like triggers a lot of the weird stuff that I'm hoping to get like a bit of a stop on before it gets too major. You can see that this comment was an hour ago. On the other hand, Genazad's social software did not publish the content of the Kuro Carnival, Kuro Fest at all. I was curious whether he did not want to post it or Kuro didn't let it go. So now Billy users, CN players, are essentially theorizing why Genazad's social media didn't actually have any sort of like reference to Kuro Fest. They're like speculating, oh, did Kuro like shut it down? Was there something that happened internally? Did they not want him to post publicly? And now people are responding, right? We have poor information here and don't know who he is, but they are angry and they just exploded. No matter what he posts, he will be scolded to death. Not to mention Kurofest. This is basically a public call at this point to like actively brigade any of the posts that Genazad potentially makes. And that is like what CN appears to have like an agreement on doing. Because don't worry, there are going to be more comments by like more unique users suggesting this. He dared to send it out and was sprayed out in minutes. This is in response to Genazad's social media thing. They're basically saying that if he posts anything publicly, it will get shit on relentlessly by the CN community. If his remarks spread again, if he starts saying more shit, it is estimated that there will be people who want to be real offline. And so once again, CN bros, let's lay off a little bit.
Number 38. The quarks in cosmical landscape. So I made this section because after writing the script, I forgot this unimportant person. So welcome Loki Gacha, Rezi, Foxel, and Kebimaru. Number 39, ZZZ versus Yuzuha VA. So I had this Pengu cosplay Tristana. For me and other people that neutral or doesn't care about any representation, it's just a rainbow. However, for people who have either pro or contra to the representation, it's a LGBTQ stuff. By the same logic, assume ignorance rather than malice. To use VA, she was innocent.
And so the voice actor for Yuzuha, the redheaded one, Kimberly Tierney, has got herself into some hot water. And the reason for that is because as a fan was going ahead and congratulating her for her performance and talking about what a great job she did, she responded with this GIF. You can see over here that this GIF, at a first glance, if you're not familiar with like the coding or like the messaging going on over here, you might have no idea what this even means. It's just a picture of her with like a flag waving in the background. And it actually turns out, ladies and gentlemen, that this GIF and this flag waving in the background, well, that is because that is the LGBT, or I don't know if LGBT is, it's like the lesbian flag. I'm pretty sure that's the right coding for it. And so this VA, by posting this, even if they did or didn't know what the flag actually meant, they went ahead and they've said that their interpretation of the character is that Yuzuha is a lesbian.
Number 40, Guinang and XJJ. If you are the voice actress of the MC of a game, what are you going to do? If you ask female rover Chinese VA, she will answer with rage bait the community, dox them via proxy XGG, and gaslight the victim. I supposed to put caps, "Oh, you little silly rover," but I couldn't get the clips anywhere, so here's another one.
Because there's just so much
Ew, my
shit that's being
wrath.
said.
Number 41. Wake me up when me asthma end. The ZZZ content creator that not in the toxic side of the community finally have courage to speak up without too much getting shit by overall community. Better late than ever. Welcome our CCC good guy, K87 and average luck gamer. But now there is new guy that coming up from the dark side. Welcome, Joshua or Shuboy. Number 42, astroturfers and painting bad leg on Kurobots. James Day, our lovely fruity guy that voicing Alto got cancelled by an astroturfer and a below freezing temperature IQ guy.
Let's just play it. Are you guys ready for this one?
If I get Brant in this 10 pull, it's confirmed, it's canon that Brant and Alto are lovers.
This guy is literally in the process of pulling on banners and then makes a joke while pulling. If I get Brant early, then Brant is going to be, it's confirmed that Brant's in love with me because he came home early. And I'm also voice Alto because I'm the Alto voice actor, so it's a joke about the character he voices and the character that came home early being lovers. Guys, do you know what so many people say as they're pulling? I've said things like, if I don't get her in this 10 pull, I'm going to uninstall the game. If I don't get her in this 10 pull, I'm going to go do something in Minecraft. If I don't get her in this 10 pull, I'm going to go Brigade Wuthering Waves. People will say shit like that all the goddamn time just because it's like a fun thing to talk about super wild stuff as you're in the middle of doing pulls. That's just really what it is. So this is just like the lack of context that's actually being spread over here is ridiculous. He's just making a joke about getting an early 5-star while pulling on the banners. I'm going to become an XJJ member if I lose 50-50. If I lose a 50-50 right now, I'm going to leave a 1-star review. Guys, if you're going to hyper-analyze every single goddamn thing that somebody says during a polling session, we're all fucked. Every single streamer is completely screwed because we make jokes like this all the time. That's what interactivity, that's what building a good community is. That's what it consists of when it comes to streaming. And to go ahead and start extrapolating, right? And even, most importantly of all, leaving out the context of, if I get Brant in this 10 pull, and then just listing out the sentence afterwards. Oh my gosh, this is some of the craziest misinformation ever, isn't it?
Also sending email to Kuro about this line and will contact support in-game too. About the description, just put how these lines can affect your experience and have influence on your decision to pull Lucilla or not. Wuwa is only for ML ships.
Number 43, Ryuko Sensei and the last sighting of him. Ryuko is back! Finally I can put Niles in Ryuko 2024 drama coffin.
It appears that this individual on the screen that you're seeing, Ryuku Sensei, a teacher in Japan, has found his inability to keep his mouth shut. When it comes to my name, he's going to find that that inability is going to cause him some more problems. Because we've got a tweet over here where, all this being said, I get it. It's so hard not to chime in on certain drama, especially when you know one side is a disingenuous, narcissistic gaslighter that misleads their audience at every turn about everything. It's
What
not
the
really
fuck?
like...
No, dude! No, that literally is! That fucking is! No, you are actually pissing me off right now. No, what people were looking for is what they looked at most, and you can see what they were looking at most on the fucking timeline. That's what they were looking for. It's literally there. You are completely wrong on this. Jesus Christ. Do not do that again.
Number 44, Atsu of PGR. Rexlan, the holier than thou, making drama posts that been due for fucking half year. You need to treat drama as limited time event because it only relevant in a week, especially if you are the biggest CC in that game, and that drama have major impact on your community. Number 45, gathering community notes and TGA. So, how you build making WoW bad with? Let me show you the recap inside. This is because the Game Award But in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Finally,
It was a great RPG.
here are the final 5 nominees for Player's Voice, a 100% fan-voted award.
Arc Raiders didn't even
Flare
get
Up Scare
nominated.
Expedition 33.
It didn't even get nominated.
Genshin Impact, Hollow Knight Silksong, and Wuthering Waves.
Wow.
This year, the fans selected Wuthering Waves as the winner.
Based.
Congratulations.
All right, so we're going to get a free 5 pull or what?
We've got something great
Or free
for you.
10
Please
pull?
welcome actor.
Thank God.
Number 46. Put the price on the bag. Or in this case, put the nails in the coffin. This is for God of Uber driver. What? You still playing 13 gacha?
Time I hang out at Maximilian Dude's stream, for example, when he's live reacting to a game show like, I don't know, Sony State of Play or something, or the Game Awards, and a Gacha game shows up, his entire chat just goes all...
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Very...
Probably because whenever somebody thinks of a gacha game player, Tohu, they think about somebody that looks like you. Like, literally, you are... When people think of, like, the no! It's not because of the games. The no is because of the people playing them. And the no is because of you. I don't think you understand the reason for the negative stigma in the gacha space. It's because of you retard. Because you do shit like this with your wispy ass, like fucking Fu Man nothing mustache, whatever the fuck pubic hair you have going on with your chin, and then like the fucking haircut that looks like you go once every 3 months and only when it starts getting in your ears, and then 4, the fucking shit in your background that you were just displaying proudly. Brother, for 99% of the population, you couldn't waterboard this out of 90% of people in the population. You couldn't waterboard admission of these details out, but you're just showing all of it for free. And because you're so confident being such a fucking loser, that's why normies do this.
No! No! No!
You're the reason why this reaction is the most common one. It's you! Stop being a fucking weirdo!
Number 47. Brain Overland. Brain Online tried to cancel Glaive because he caught in his feeling.
He's even got other content creators known for their Genshin Impact fan base going out and reacting to him as well. This has to be rage bait from Bran Online, but do also keep in mind that this is also what Bran has said about Genshin Impact. Just so you know, this is from the video itself. I don't want to put any words in people's mouths over here.
Be all and end all of Genshin. Dude, the game's in probably the best state it has ever been in right now.
So that's the cut that we'll use. And well, let's just say that Bran responded kind of negatively to Glaive's video because I guess he wasn't critical about Genshin in the ways that Bran wanted him to be.
Also, a Mavuika Sisik on controversial patch versus random Sisik on random patch is very different.
The game. Like I say, I fully believe Glaive is not a tourist. He does play the game. He probably just plays the parts that he enjoys, like the story, for example. After all the videos he's made about characters and stuff, and the way that the combat works in this game and the depth of it, I don't think he's going to be doing a lot of content like the end game, for example, or at least enjoying it, or pulling for characters, like spending money at the very least. But at the end of the day, he does play the game.
And just here to farm drama. Now let's look at the receipts. Because in version 6.1, the very patch people claim I didn't play, I spent $1,000 to see 6 Nefer. I streamed.
Is this where he crashes out?
Wait.
Very patch people claim.
This is where he crashes out, isn't it?
I didn't play. I spent $1,000 to see 6 Nefer.
Okay. Sorry, that just caught me off guard. Really? After all of the videos that Glaive's made about sunk cost fallacy and simply not enjoying like 90% of the damn game anymore, you spend $1,000 on... I got branded Hoyo's biggest goddamn hypocrite for C6 in Wolani. when I said that the banners were predatory. This motherfucker talks about the predatory nature of this game all the damn time and why they're falling behind every other game. It still drops $1,000 on C6 Nefer and is not getting shit at all. This is the double standards I'm talking about, bro. I'm sorry. Hey.
There's a difference between C6ing a unit that's coming off of the most predatory banner in the history of the game and C6ing a random unit that just releases in a random patch cycle. Let's just talk about that for a second. There's a reason why I pulled up these details before. This is the most predatory banner the game has ever had with the most predatory conditions. With the 20 pulls for Lantern Rite after this banner ends and then both new characters debuting at a single time. That is how predatory this banner was. So at a baseline, Nefer is just a random fucking banner in the game. And I'm going to be honest. I think the only reason why Glaive C6 Nefer, I think he's on the record saying it, is because it looks like his avatar. It looks like his avatar. I think that's why he did it. And, well, this is also another realization if you don't know this about Glaive Kyo yet. Glaive Kyo likes Genshin Impact, and Glaive Kyo actually wants Genshin Impact to get better. That's why he continually uploads videos about it, giving feedback to the developers on how to fix features and make them better. And so him S6ing a unit in a game where he's clearly talking about all the ways that he wants it to improve. Yes, he gives critiques for it. That's because he wants it to get better. I don't think Glaive goes in and tells people not to play Genshin. I think he says people need to recognize what's wrong with the fucking game so they can add certain new things to the feedback form or give suggestions. I like how Bran is using the terminology double standards here. I think bro is just trying to lessen how hypocritical he was by C6ing Mavuika, and he's trying to drag Glaive Kyo into it as part of his redemption arc, which is, when you just look at the details regarding the situation, they're not comparable.
I respect Glaive for a lot of different reasons, but this, I don't know, man. This feels like one of the... Because I'm personally affected by this in the past, this feels like such a massive fucking double standard.
No, it's not. Yours was way worse.
It really fucking does, my...
No.
God, I owned up to my shit. Let's just see where this video's going, dude.
I streamed the million.
Doing this for free. Because I have really never seen such an insane defensive Genshin literally just disagreeing with critiques, not because you have a reason to disagree, but simply for the sake of disagreeing and wanting to say that the other party is incorrect. That is what this video and Bran's original reaction has felt like. How can I just say the other person is wrong? I'll say that they're wrong, and then I'll think of a reason later. That's really just what every single time Bram pauses the video, that's what it feels like. How I'm gonna disagree with him, and then I'll figure it out later. And the crash out that we saw over here, once we heard about the C6 Nefer, bro, we just couldn't stop comparing it to our own PTSD with Mavuika and Cheaton. Bro, he just couldn't stop comparing it to that time that he got fucking dragged for when he did this. And then, instead of actually refuting the points that Glaive Kyo brought up, bro would just trauma dump about his C6 Mavuika and how he got called out for it, and use that to refute Glaive's points. For like 10 of Glaive's points, he was just like, but you C6 Nefer, so you can't be right. Brother, what's the point of even reacting to the video if that's the shit that you're going to be saying to 90% of what he said? And then to say that the video is poorly put together afterwards? Yeah, of course the video is going to seem poorly put together because you kept interjecting with literally the most pointless commentary I've ever fucking heard. It's going to make any video seem like steaming dog shit. I'm just going to be honest. This was a ridiculous circumstance.
Number 48. Think out of the box 2. Box 2 trying to emulate what Pocky doing to get some clout. It ended up flipping ugly.
When the thing that you made sacrifices for is just useless, and your sacrifices are still haunting you. Was that a W? Do we call that a good investment, guys? Probably not, right? If you're still getting clowned on the take, and the stuff you got clowned for didn't do anything for you, probably didn't fucking work out. And so this is what I mean by you have a living case study box. A living case study of what it looks like when a CC, whose main game is HSR, fucks up because they rage bait the gacha space too goddamn much. And then they ruin their reputation and nobody wants to watch their content anymore. Because this is the thing. You've been following in Pokey's footsteps, literally one-to-one over the past 2 fucking weeks. And just like how Pokey wasn't joking about this, I have no idea. You could be joking about this, right? You could be. This could be a well-natured shitpost. But when you take into account, again, the literal track record, the context leading up to it, and the fact, the big fact, and this is the one that's probably going to be the nail in the coffin, the fact that HSR 3.8 is currently live right now. That's a fact. HSR 3.8 is currently live. And so, if you are caught doing any of this rage baiting while 3.8 is live, what narrative does that tell everybody inspecting the situation? My game is shit. And so I'm desperately trying because, and this is really the depressing part, because I can't make woo-wah content, because the community hates me, I'm gonna doom post woo-wah to try to make HSR better.
Number 49. Ryuku 2.0. This is Pixel, and just like Ryuku, he is the arbiter of woo-wah must be like what I want. Number 50. The Racist Cultivator. This is Zume, a racist cultivator that accusing Glaive because Glaive made content against MiHoYo games. Proof that he cultivating racers.
I said the video from Zome had racist undertones. I never actually called him racist myself. I said once you have all the information, this video appears way more racist than it did before. But you want to know what? This has confirmed it to me, and what you see next from his Discord, from Zome's Discord, what you see next will only confirm my suspicions even more. I don't fucking care if y'all say the N-word, it's just a word. Just don't try to genuinely hurt the other people in the server. Just spam it. So that's a statement from him on his server. But don't worry, guys, there's more. Huge video about Glaive coming out, blah, 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 doing all the advertising and stuff like that. And then apparently they had to take their server down and not allow invites in. Do you want to know why? It's because this post over here was made. I'm so done with all these people twisting my logic and ignoring all my words. Just curious what he comes up with. Saint said racist. I generally don't care anymore, man. Anyone who actually has a functional brain will understand me. These guys just want to make me look like the villain. You dumb motherfucker. I didn't make you look like a villain.
Being detected as 99%, it wouldn't be an issue.
You're a 99% dipshit. Anyways, you want to know the only person that made you out to be a villain? It's you literally pinning a post to make fun of ESL people after you created an entire video saying a guy's entire career is garbage because he's an ESL person. That was this video. You saying Glaive Keel's career is a lie, he's fake, it's slop, you've been lied to because he's ESL. And then you pin a comment to further insult ESL people. Because that's the only reason why you did this. There is nobody making you look like a villain except yourself. You know what? Let's see what his response is, actually. If so, he could simply write it in Indonesian and translate it. You want to know how the translator translates it? Using AI. And so this guy just said, after making an entire video shitting on him for using AI, his suggestion is to use AI. And look how many upvotes it has. This guy was just talking about, if you use AI in any context, your content is trash. Hey, he used AI because he's ESL. If he did, he should have just used AI. It's not that you look like a villain, Zome, you look retarded. And as you can clearly see over here, it's not looking good. But guys, don't worry. The racism, the stupidity, all of it, it gets worse. It gets worse. Because this is Zome chatting in his Discord, ladies and gentlemen. It's a continuation of that previous post that we saw before. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes. And remember, guys, these are public Discord messages. These are public Discord messages. Here's another one. Oh, hey, my name's Zome. I don't ban nobody. Hey, my name's Zome. This is my Discord. Woohoo! Hey, guys, I'm not racist. They're trying to make me look racist. Hey, guys, I'm not racist. Hey, guys, I just pinned a post making fun of every single ESL person on Earth who has ever used a translator. I'm not racist. There's more though.
What the hell?
This is why, in my opinion, you just don't allow racism on your server. Because you're just gonna end up with a bunch of dumb fucking kids, a bunch of HSR players, a bunch of Mr. Pokey chatters having some fun. You're just giving them a playground to be idiots. Oh, and now we got a little bit of anti-Semitism in there as well. Oh, we're just collecting we're just collecting every single type of racism like they're the fucking Infinity Stones. So we got ESL, we got black people, we got Jews. Who else? Who else? Indonesians in particular, because oh my goodness. And this is the guy saying I was next. I'm telling you, brother, little brother, upload the fucking video. Upload the video. Are you going to after this? This is worse than Rexlet. I found somebody more racist than Rexlet. That's impressive. That's actually impressive. It's pretty clear by now from what you've seen across the video, Zome is one of the biggest hypocrites you've ever seen. This is probably enough to show you that he's a massive hypocrite. Hey, Glaive, using AI is bad. You want to know how you cannot use AI? Just use a different AI instead. That was his hypocritical suggestion. But you want to know what the best part about all this is? It was this guy saying anything that involves AI is just slop.
Don't even know this, so I don't blame them, right? But it's just so dystopian to me how all this time nobody realized it's all just nothing more than AI slop. Now, if
you know what the funny thing is? Zome made the thumbnail for this video using AI. He made the thumbnail of this video using AI. You wanna know what else he did? He also used... Oh, sorry. It's just more racist shit. My bad. I didn't even intend on saying that. He also used Grammarly, an AI grammar checker platform, in his video. So Zome made all these crazy claims that AI was just like literally the worst thing ever, and then he himself used AI to make this video and check the grammar and things like that. By his own logic, this video too is nothing more than AI slop.
And finally, at number 51, avocado toasted soda. I let Zen speak because I don't want to unearth the plus clue of the 500 sub incident.
So Arikado went ahead, got himself welcomed into the Wuthering Waves community by making all of this content associated around me, and he would heavily interact in my Twitch channel. And you're seeing, even so close as November 7th of this year, he has been actively in my comments section, right? Going ahead and, well, actually self-promoting himself, linking his own videos, doing that sort of stuff. So you can see that this sort of like business relationship that he was looking to form, he has been trying to reform it recently. But what we also need to provide context about is how the business relationship actually got ruined in the first place. Because Arikado went ahead and just went on a bit of a streak of doom posting Wuthering Waves and doom posting its creators. You can see over here, he's complaining about Wuwa 2.4 performance while using an awful device. He's talking about how the community is becoming insufferable. One of his most disliked videos. And then you have him attacking a bunch of other content creators, and of course, illegitimately attacking Wuthering Waves' endgame. And then he went ahead, proceeded to go ahead and talk about how he crashed out over me specifically, and even went so far as to make a video and a pinned tweet saying, hating Saint for no good reason was such a mistake. And I realized after this, right, after seeing him make this post, and after the fact that he literally went ahead and gifted me 100 subs on my channel as a form of apology, that's one of the reasons for why, despite all of the negative things that he did towards me and all the ways that he was damaging both the gacha space and also my career, I was still giving him a bit of a chance, right? I was like, okay, maybe this guy's got something not fully wired up in his head, but I can tell he probably has, like, okay intentions. But what I've begun to realize now is that with his recent behavior, videos like that, the relationships he has with other CCs, and of course, the fact that even with the obvious clout chasing that's going on with this guy, he's going so far as to pretend to have these relationships, I realized there's something deeply wrong with this dude. And the next part of the video will probably explain to you why. What happens after that is that he kind of like flounders around, thinks about different types of content, and then he gets himself associated with Fox Soul. So when it comes to Fox Soul, I'm not going to talk too much about him because I don't like giving this guy the, the mind share at all. I don't really like giving him any of mind share at all, simply due to the fact that he's a bit of a weirdo. And so let me just play you a short clip from another CC when it comes to Fox Soul and the type of person that he actually is, so that you guys get some context for why he doesn't like me and why I try to avoid talking about him whenever I can. This is a video over here that breaks down an excerpt from one of Fox Soul's deleted VODs, where he proceeds to play Love in Deep Space, but during the entire time, Fox Soul just can't stop talking about me.
Don't go out of your fucking way to go try to badmouth a fucking website that you clearly don't know jack shit about, because you're the same motherfucker that went out of your goddamn fucking way to fucking say that Hoyoverse was trying to do everything it can to stop, to sabotage Weather Waves with its fucking voice actors.
That's what Fox Soul does on streams when it comes to me.
When you got the backlash on it, you go out of your way to make another fucking video a month later and fucking say, hey, it was a theory video. Y'all guys took it too seriously. It's not my fault. Ha 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 ha. Go fuck yourself.
So after that meltdown, that breakdown, he's playing Love in Deep Space, by the way. That's what Fox Soul's doing. He's playing Love in Deep Space during this entire fucking crash out. And so, I see the context that this random no-name CC can't stop shit-talking me while playing Love in Deep Space and slurring his words and sounding like a fucking raging alcoholic. After that, you probably think that he's also somebody that goes on stream, gets shit-faced drunk, and then just starts shit-talking other CCs. That's the history when it comes to me and Fox Soul. And Arikado decided, hey, let me go join that crowd.
So that's all of the major drama in Gacha space. Maybe I forgot something, but whatever. What do you think about this video? Comment down below your rating and see ya next time.